name is Nalayla Walker, and the title of my book is Getting Out of Your Own Way by Mark Goulston. This book teaches practical lessons for conquering procrastination, fear, envy, and more. It talks about how self-defeating behavior is a poison, preventing us from achieving love, success, and the happiness that we all want in our lives. It explains why we sabotage ourselves and hold us back from amazing opportunities. It shows you how to stop being your own worst enemy. My overall goal for this book is to just stop being my own worst enemy. I tend to hold myself back from amazing opportunities because I listen to the negative person in the back of my head telling me that, oh, you're not good enough, oh, you're not ready, and I tend to doubt myself way more than I should. So the overall goal for reading this book is to stop doing that and start taking risks and doing more things and going for more opportunities and stop that fear that I have. Alright, so my first step is going to be procrastinating. Honestly, I've already started procrastinating, but it's going to get better after this. So, Mark says to stop wasting your time putting yourself down for procrastinating. Stop setting yourself up by saying next time is going to be different. Arrange to work with a partner or enlist in the aid of a supportive friend and check in with him or her when you are struggling to begin a task. Alright, so one thing that I have been procrastinating on a lot is finishing my math homework. So that is what we're going to start with first. Tips was to enlist a supportive friend. I called one of my friends who I know hasn't done her homework. And so we're gonna start it together. Okay, we aren't off to a good start. I lost my calculator. Alright, so my next step for overcoming self-defeating behavior is getting so angry you make things worse. So on page 86, he says, whether you can transcend your personal feelings and uphold strongly felt values, you gain something far greater than the thrill of retaliation, the courage and power of conviction. So his tips for what to do when you are so angry but you shouldn't make things worse is to cool off, resist the urge to act impulsively, and take some time to reflect on the situation. Ask yourself what has made you angry, and the answer is usually something you regard unfair or unreasonable. Identify the principles that are being violated and put your conviction into words. Determine the best and most creative way to stand up for your principles. So usually when I'm really flustered or angry, I like to go for runs or exercise because it's a good way for me to clear my mind while also benefiting me. Alright, so I wouldn't say I'm necessarily angry right now, but today has been pretty stressful, so we're just gonna go for a run anyway. So for my next step on overcoming self-defeating behavior is not waiting until it's too late. On page 81, Mark says, imagine yourself at age 80 looking back at your life. Ask yourself what it would take to make you feel like you've lived a meaningful life. If you continue living the way you are, you will be able to say so at age 80 that everything important has been resolved and completed. What can you do differently starting today that will get you to where you want to be at age 80? Start doing it. So to help with this step, I am going to apply for college today. I know applying for college sounds like something I should have done a really long time ago, but I haven't. So doing that today will help me on later in life. Alright, so this is my fourth step of overcoming self-defeating behavior, and it is backing down because you feel like you're not ready. On page 322, that's my coach yelling. On page 322, if you're tempted to back off because you don't feel ready, pause. Ask yourself why you don't believe you're not ready and list all the reasons. Alright, so the thing that I've been putting off because I feel like I'm not ready to do again is tumbling. I recently got hurt doing a skill and I haven't thrown it in a really long time. So I'm going to make a list of all the reasons why I am nervous to do the skill. Alright, so my first reason is because I'm scared I'm going to get injured again. The second reason is because I have a little bit of a mental block doing the skill now. And the third is because my coaches have been encouraging me to throw the skill for a really long time because they know I still have it. So that's what we're going to do tonight. With it only being the first week of doing all these steps, I can't really tell if I progressed in any of them yet, but for step 1, I didn't procrastinate and I started my homework on time. Step 2, I didn't make things worse by cooling down, so I went on a run. And step 3, I didn't wait till it's too late, so I applied for college finally. And then step 4 was not backing down because you don't feel ready, and I threw a tumbling pass that I haven't thrown in a really long time. So I think that's good progress for week 1. So this is week 2 of my first step, procrastination. I've gotten a little better since the first week, but I still am putting off doing my homework a little bit. So since my friend gave me the motivation to do it, we're gonna do it now. Step 2, which is getting so mad you make things worse. For this one, I decided to go for another run. Step 3 is living in the moment and not waiting until it's too late. For this step, I decided to go to the gym to stay in shape. Back to step 4, which is not backing down because you don't feel ready. Tonight I threw my toe tuck for the first time in a really long time. Alright, now that week 2 is all completed, for this week I did my homework earlier for step 1, which is procrastination. For step 2, which is don't make things worse, cool yourself down, I went on another run to help. For step 3, which is live in the moment, don't wait until it's too late, I went to the gym. And then for step 4, not backing down because you don't feel ready, I threw another tumbling skill. So I think that's a lot more progress from week 1. I've gotten another skill, doing my homework better, and I'm exercising, so. Step 1, which is don't procrastinate. I know it's starting to get repetitive, but I decided to do my homework ahead of time. Step 2 is getting so angry you make things worse. For this step, he says to find something to take the stress away. So for me, that thing is cheer. Every time I'm there, all of my outside problems usually disappear for the time being, and I just enjoy myself. All right, so it is week 3, and this is my 3rd step, waiting until it's too late. So for this step, I will be applying to a lot of jobs right now, and I'll be driving around getting applications.
Sorry, it says hello, my name is Broccoli.
Anyway, I've decided to apply for jobs because I know that I'm going to need to be saving up a lot of money for college and trying to get my own place for the future and everything, so this is a good step to start with. Here's week 3 of not backing down because you don't feel ready. Today I got my running layout. Week 3 is complete, so I know it's getting a little repetitive, but for procrastination, I did my homework earlier. For not making things worse and cooling down, I went to cheer, which is my stress reliever. For not waiting until it's too late, I applied for jobs. And for not backing down because you're not ready, I threw another tumbling skill. So I think I made a lot of progress, definitely since week 1, especially for not waiting until it's too late and living in the moment, because I have applied for college, I've applied for jobs, and helped with everything that's going on in the future. Step 1 is procrastinating. On page 66, Mark says to stop setting yourself up by saying next time is going to be different, which is what I say every time I pack for an out-of-state competition. I always pack at the last second and tell myself that I won't do that again and do it again. So for this competition, I decided to get a head start on that. Back to step 2, which is getting so mad you make things worse. For this, he says to find something to effectively cool yourself down. So for that, I usually will hang out with friends. Step 3 is living in the moment and not waiting until it's too late. For this one, I decided to give my friend a gift to show her how grateful I am for her and not waiting until it's too late. Step 4 is not backing down because you don't feel ready. For that, tonight I threw a cartwheel tuck. So that is the end of my 30-day project of overcoming self-defeating behavior. So I definitely think I achieved all of my desired goals for this project, which is basically to procrastinate less, to not make things worse when you're stressed or angry, to not wait till the last minute to do things, and lastly, not do things because you felt like you weren't ready for them. I think a lot of the things in his book that he talked about were things that I already did and things that I already knew about and didn't even realize I was doing. Things that were successful, I think, were getting over my mental block with my skills and throwing them. I applied for jobs, applied for college, and helped a lot of things in the future. I didn't have very many difficulties doing this project because I think all of the steps that I had, I really wanted to fix and achieve, and I think I did that. One thing I can definitely say I learned throughout this entire project is sometimes you can be your own worst enemy and you can hold yourself back from many opportunities just by these self-defeating behaviors that can happen. And I think that a lot of what I learned were things that I already knew how to do or things that I was already doing and didn't realize it. So my takeaway is that life is hard enough, so don't be your own worst enemy.